What up, y'all? It's your boy. Time for another shorty. This one gonna be about. I was thinking about one of the other stories that I told y'all about when I was talking about Mr. Boswick and how we used to throw stuff at him, and he would turn around and he would blow up on the class, right? Well, if that made me think about a couple other times. In my years at Milford. Actually, the two that I'm thinking about both happened my freshman year, where we got a teacher to blow up. One was, this was both ninth grade. So I'm in ninth grade. This class had to be this was my keyboarding class. First learned how to type in high school, and we actually learned how to type on typewriters. I know these kids now probably don't have no idea what a typewriter is, but we learned how to type on electric typewriters in my keyboarding class. And so once we finished learning how to type, then we went on to computers. And we learned how to type. We was using, at that time, WordPerfect. This is before Microsoft Office came out. This was no Word, PowerPoint and all that stuff. That stuff came out when I was in college. So this was back when we really started getting into word processing programs. So we was on WordPerfect. We was learning how to, we was typing different documents and stuff like that. Well, our teacher was Miss Kaminsky. Older lady, probably in her 50s, 60s, something like that. I don't think she was quite 60. She probably was in her 50s. And we had her, and I remember Tyrone Brooks was in our class. And he used to always had a whole class just tripping. And it was a mixed class. We had I think it was all 4 grades were in that class. It was a little mixture. Matter of fact, it might have been us ninth graders might have been the minority. It was majority upperclassmen in that class. So one day, Tyrone was just on one that day. He was just every funny bone in his body just came out that day. He said something. And while she was teaching, or trying to teach, and whatever he said made the whole class just bust out laughing. And it was just so disrespectful to her, because it's she's trying to teach us, and we in here goofing and goofing and goofing. When that happened and everybody was laughing, Miss Kaminsky just blew up. I'm talking about her whole face was red. She was furious. She went on a rant so bad that couldn't nobody even say nothing. We were just sitting there, and we were trying so hard not to laugh out loud. Everybody just sitting there with their head down, just in tears, laughing as quiet as they can. She went on, literally a 15 to 20 minute rant where she just got all her frustrations out with this class. She was done. She couldn't take it no more. I thought she was going to quit that day. And, that was so funny. My stomach was hurting the rest of the day, because we had her we had her second period. So this is early in the day when Miss Kaminsky just straight blew up. She was done. She couldn't take it no more. And now that I think about it, I don't think that might have been her last year. I don't remember ever seeing her after that ninth grade year. I think that was her last year there. So that was one. And then another one was same ninth grade, Mr. Haynes. Mr. Haynes was our science teacher. and I had him last period. He was 7th period. And that class liked to play around a lot too. And one day, I forgot who it was, but Mr. Haynes, he got tired of us being rowdy and playing around, and he got on somebody. I can't remember who it was, but then, and remind you, this was the year that when Mr. Haynes had got beat up. I think BJ had like beat him up or knocked him out. Then when they put BJ out, him and BJ got into it. BJ took off on him and got put out for that. So Mr. Haynes was known for that. He was the teacher that got beat up by a freshman. So this particular day, I forgot who it was, but Mr. Haynes caught himself getting on somebody for being too loud. And it says something like, you better be quiet if I knock you out like BJ did. What they say that for? Mr. Haynes' whole face was red as these earphones I got on. And he went on this rant. Like, he looked like if he could, he would have just off some people in that class. I'll put it that way. He was furious over that because he probably been getting joked about that all year. And then when that happened in our class, that was the last straw for him. He was like, you better shut up before I knock you out like BJ did. Mr. Haynes blew up. He went off 10, 15 minutes going off. And it was just, it was all the frustration from probably what he was getting all year, being joked and clowned because he got beat up by a freshman. So all that, I think, just came out that day. And he just blew up. And me just sitting there, I'm sitting here crying, laughing. Because he just had enough. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. I'm a freshman, okay? Freshman in high school. Never seen no teacher blow up. Oh, I have seen some blow ups in middle school, and I'm gonna do a video about that too. Matter of fact, I might tell y'all about that now. But you don't usually see teachers blow up, just straight blow up like that. But Mr. Haynes, he blew up, and one just came to my mind while I was telling this story. Which this is back in middle school. I went to Johnny Cake Middle School. And my 6th and 7th grade year, our band director, Mr. Davis, his name was Mr. Davis. This man was a complete psychopath, man. This man was crazy, okay? I'm on the drum line, so we all way in the back. Mr. Davis had an issue where he liked to throw things when he's upset. We would be back there, man, and it could be anybody. It wasn't necessarily just the drum section. It could be anybody in there. If you was playing wrong notes, if you was doing stuff that he did not tell you to do, this man would literally, and I'm not playing, anybody who went to Johnny Cake Middle School when I was there and you was in that band, you know I'm not lying. Mr. Davis would pick up a chair and throw it at you. He would throw a music stand at you. This man was a complete lunatic, okay? And I remember one day, he threw something at me one time. I was on the bass drum. And I played something wrong. I don't know what. This man picked up I think it was a music stand. No, he threw a chair at me. He threw a chair. He all the way in the front of the band. The drum line, we all the way in the back. I was on bass drum. This man threw a chair at me. I got out the way. It hit the bass drum, and the bass drum fell over on the floor. Because I was playing wrong notes. He got tired of me messing up his song, man. The man picked up a chair and threw it at me. It hit the bass drum, knocked the bass drum straight on the floor. And he did it to other people, throwing chairs, throwing music stands. I've seen him he hit a dude with a music stand. He hit somebody, I don't know if it was like one of the trumpet line. It might have been one of the drum line guys. I don't know. He got mad and threw a music stand and hit him right in the back. And he fell out and started crying. And then he'd go over there and clean it up. You know, I apologize and all this, that. And then he'd make it all go away. Anybody who went to Johnny Cake Middle School, you know Mr. Davis. That man was crazy. They got rid of him after our 7th grade year and brought in somebody else for our 8th grade year. But Mr. Davis, that man was a lunatic, man. He would just throw stuff at people. We ain't throwing erasers. No, throwing an eraser at you, throw a piece of paper at you. This man will pick up one of them cement student chairs, man, throw it at you. Or pick up his own music stand and throw it at you. And he intend to hit you. That man had a problem. Everybody at Johnny Cake that was in the music program, they remember him. If you was in the band, you remember him. That man was a lunatic, man. So that's 3 times right there when we got teachers to blow up. But Mr. Davis, I don't know if you can even count that with Mr. Davis. That was just normal behavior for him. You didn't have to really do much to get him to blow up. We had to make Mr. Haynes zap and make Miss Kaminsky zap. You could do the simplest thing. You wasn't even trying to irritate Mr. Davis. You just made a mistake. And if he had to tell you too many times to get it right, oh, he throwing something at you. And like he didn't care if you told on him. I seen him hit somebody in the back with a music stand and they fell on the floor. Like, he almost took me out. That man threw a chair at me, man. And it hit my bass drum and it fell on the floor. I ran. If I hadn't ran, he would have hit me with that chair. It's because I ran. It's because I ran out the way that he hit the bass drum. It would have been me. I got people, it's people out there on Facebook or whatever media you looking at this on that was in that band at Johnny Cake Middle School with us with Mr. Davis. Everybody, you know how crazy Mr. Davis was. I am not exaggerating. Anybody who was in that band could testify to crazy Mr. Davis. Oh, my Lord. If he did that today, oh, he'd get locked up. The stuff he used to do, they lock him up. Yeah, he done. He done. Because somebody would go home and tell their parents, boy, they had Mr. Davis locked under the jail for child abuse, under the jail. I've seen him actually hit people with things because he mad. Because you played the wrong note. We in middle school, man. This ain't the Maya Hall Symphony Hall. What you think we are? You're going to make mistakes. Mistakes wasn't an option with Mr. Davis. He throwing something at you, man. You may or may not get hit, but he trying to hit you. Oh, Lord. So that's it. That was now 3 times where we got teachers to blow up. But like I said, Mr. Davis, we didn't make him blow up. He was just a ticking time bomb. I mean, anything could set him off. So he don't even count. He was a whole different level of crazy. All right, y'all, I'm out.